Hollywood. It's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
George Reed here.
Well, good morning, George.
Bad morning, Johnny.
What's the matter?
You remember Jediah Gillis?
Eccentric old man loves animals? Sure.
Well, for the second time, he's talked us into issuing a special coverage policy on an item he wanted insured.
And for the second time, it's disappeared, huh?
Right.
I hope it's not another singing mouse.
I'm afraid it's something worse. An articulate canine.
I take it a what?
Dog, Johnny.
And I take it a... You mean a talking dog?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Different. I didn't know about mice. I do know about dogs. And I've never heard one yet that could say anything but rough.
Well, maybe you haven't, but Michael Murphy has.
Michael Murphy?
Iron Mike Murphy, vice president of Milford Steel.
Oh, what's he got to do with this?
Well, he's the former owner of the articulating canine.
Gillis bought the dog from him?
According to this application, he did.
When did it happen?
Oh, about 3 weeks ago. First I heard of it was when Gillis called from New York asking for the coverage.
How much insurance does he have on the critter?
The maximum we'd allow, $7,500.
75. Oh, no, George. That's hardly worth my time. I can't make any commission from a small policy like that. Why don't you pay him off and forget it?
I'd like to, Johnny, but it isn't that simple.
No?
No. Since you found his mouse, Gillis thinks you're some kind of a miracle worker.
Oh, Pied Piper, you mean. Or pie-eyed something or other.
Anyway, the boys upstairs have agreed to let you write your own ticket again, providing
Yeah?
you locate the dog. Or in the event you don't, you pacify Gillis. Keep him happy so that he doesn't cancel his other policies.
And if I can't do either?
Then you wind up with your regular commission and expense account, which our auditors will check and double-check.
A real sucker bet. But okay, George, you've got yourself a deal. Expense account item 2, 85 cents cab fare back to my apartment. Item 3, $26, transportation Hartford to New York City, including cab fare to the Statler Hotel. By the time I checked in, changed my shirt, it was 8:30. I picked up the phone and called the number George Reed had given me.
Hello?
May I speak to Mr. Gillis, please?
Johnny Dollar. Dad told me you were coming.
Well, hi.
Hi, is that all I get? This is Marion.
Yeah, I know. I had a hunch your father was staying at your place.
Do you have my address?
Sure have. 514 East 51st Street.
Apartment 4C.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you get right over here before everyone leaves.
Everyone? Who all's there?
Well, just friends. It's a celebration.
What kind?
I'll tell you when you get here. Now, hurry.
Right. Expense account item 4, $1.70 taxi from the Statler to the East 51st Street address. The entrance to the building faced toward Beekman Place, and one side of it looked out over the East River. I could hear the noise from apartment 4C before I stepped into the elevator. Marion had a good many friends, which figured because of her blonde hair, gray eyes, and a few other... Well, yeah. I pressed the buzzer and waited. I was about to press it again when a door opened further off down the hall.
Hi.
Oh, Marion.
Here, Johnny. Oh, if you don't mind sneaking in through the kitchen. But Dad made it very clear that he wants to see you now and alone.
Alone? Was that Mob in there?
He's waiting for you in the den. It's this way. How have you been?
Oh, fine, just fine. Sounds like quite a party.
It is. I sent out the invitations before the pup disappeared. I offered to call it off, but Dad wouldn't let me.
Any special kind of celebration?
I think so. It's to announce my engagement.
You're... Well, what do you know? Who's the lucky man?
His name's Bill Fisher. He's an executive with the Powers Advertising Agency.
Real big-time operator, huh?
He just talked one of his clients into putting on a new TV show.
Well, you know you have all my good wishes.
Oh, Bill, we were just talking about you.
I wondered where you disappeared to.
Bill, this is Johnny Dollar.
Hi, congratulations. You're getting a fine girl.
Yes, I think so.
Thunderation, what's called? Oh, it's Dollar, so you finally decided to get here.
Hello, Mr. Gillis.
Come in.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you later, Johnny.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, you ready to go to work?
Yes, sir. Whenever you are.
Whenever I am. You're the one's getting paid to be a detective.
Well, I can't do my job without your cooperation, Mr. Gillis.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Just answer a couple of questions.
Just answer it. Well, didn't that sweet pea of an agent tell you all you need to know?
Well, he couldn't. He didn't know anything except that a dog you have insured.
A dog? A dog, you say? Is that what you call her? Why, you miserable, cold-hearted... A dog.
Well, isn't that what you've lost, Mr. Gillis?
No! And don't you ever let me hear you calling that... She's a little lady. If you must refer to the type of being she is, well, she's a canine.
Okay. Do you mind telling me under what circumstances the canine disappeared?
I wouldn't mind at all. And please call her Ming Toy.
Beg your pardon?
Ming Toy, that's her name. Ming Toy Murphy. What's the matter with you, doll? Are you deaf?
No, isn't that kind of an unusual name for a canine?
Oh, you think so? Shows how stupid you are. She's a Chinese.
Chinese?
Yes, a Pekingese. A Pekingese. And being as the first owner's name was Murphy, the whole thing, Ming Toy Murphy, just fits her to a T.
Yeah. Now, exactly when did you notice Ming Toy was missing?
Oh, since we got back from breakfast, you see, I'd left Ming Toy in here, locked up safe and sound, but when we got back, the door was standing open.
The front door?
No, not to this door.
And Ming Toy was gone?
Of course she was gone. That's what all this fuss is about.
But the front apartment door was closed.
It was, and somebody's come in here and stolen her. They had sense enough to close the front door when they left.
You're for sure somebody did steal.
I don't know what to think. All I know is Ming Toy is missing. Canine animals like her don't grow on trees.
Oh, well, you mean because of her special talent?
Well, now you're getting it, my boy. Yes, because she can talk.
Oh, now, Mr. Gillis, can you honestly say you heard her speak?
Speak? Well, man, all dogs can speak. But Ming Toy talk.
Just like a human being, I suppose.
Yeah. I see you don't believe me. Well, you just march yourself over here to this tape recorder.
Oh, Mr. Gillis, if she can talk like you say, it's still going to take me a while to kind of get used to this.
You and the whole country, providing we get her back.
The whole country?
TV, boy.
What?
Television. A new show called The Big Shock. The first one's on tomorrow night. What's the matter? Don't you read the papers? Anyway, they started advertising about 2 weeks ago. Looking for a dog that could say, Happy Hollow Dog Food is yum, yum, yummy.
Happy Hollow Dog Food?
That's the company sponsoring the show.
Go on.
They're going to open their show with the animals saying that slogan, you see. And today I was going to take Ming Toy down there and let her say it and collect the $50,000.
What, $50,000?
The $50,000 they're offering to give for a dog that can say, Happy Hollow
Okay,
Dog
Mr.
Food.
Gillis.
is
All right,
yum,
I know.
yum,
I
yummy."
know.
Yes, well, anyway, when I first heard about this, I remembered Mike Murphy said something to me over a year ago about having a canine in his kennel that could talk some. So I went over there 3 weeks ago, and I bought her.
Was the ad in the paper at that time?
Of course it wasn't.
Well, how did you know it was going to be?
Marion told me.
How did she know?
That dressed dummy she's fixing to marry. The advertising agency he works at, they're the ones that talk the Happy Hollow people into putting on that show.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Well, you see, well, it's about time.
I also see that you don't exactly approve of Fisher for a son-in-law.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. I don't approve. I don't disapprove of him. If she wants to marry a stuffed shirt, that's her business. You know, let me play this tape recording for you. You're going to hear the sweetest little voice this side of China.
Ah, now then, me little pet.
You
Get
see,
yourself set and ready
we
for the
made
dance.
this at Mike Murphy.
All right, girlie. Now talk to me. Pretty now. Talk pretty.
Hello! Hello, everybody!
Hey, you see? She said hello.
That's a dog?
It's canine. Be quiet. Be quiet.
Very good, lad. Now tell me, how are you feeling these fine days?
Wait! Million yen! Hurt me!
Hey, what happened?
She saw a cat.
Bye.